The small seaside resort of Praia de Luz is quiet, almost silent, except for the distant crash of Atlantic waves. A mother runs frantically through the hallways of a vacation apartment. Her voice, ragged, breaking, echoes into the warm Portuguese night. "She's gone. Madeleine is gone." This wasn't a cry over a misplaced toy or a sleeping child. This was the moment that would soon become one of the most haunting mysteries of the 21st century. A 3-year-old girl had vanished into thin air. Police would arrive, cameras would swarm, and the world would learn her name, Madeleine McCann. A family vacation turned nightmare. In late April 2007, the McCann family, Jerry, Kate, and their 3 children, including Madeleine, arrived in Praia de Luz, Portugal, for a family holiday. They were joined by a group of friends, most of them doctors, traveling with their own children. Their days were spent by the pool, on the beach, and walking through quiet streets. At night, the adults would gather for dinner at a tapas restaurant just 55 meters from the apartment. On May 3rd, around 8:30 p.m., Madeleine was tucked into bed alongside her younger twin siblings. Her parents kissed her goodnight and rejoined their friends for dinner. Every 20 to 30 minutes, one of the adults from the group would return to the apartment to check on the sleeping children. But at 10 p.m., Kate walked in and felt something was off. The bedroom door was open wider than before. The window was ajar, and Madeleine's bed was empty, just a soft indentation on the sheets. Where is Madeleine? Local police were alerted immediately, but what happened over the next 48 hours would become the subject of scrutiny for years to come. There was no physical perimeter set up, no roadblocks, no fast action to seal off the area. The crime scene soon became contaminated by well-meaning helpers and horrified tourists. Witnesses came forward. One of the early reports, a man carrying a child in pajamas walking briskly toward the road. He was never found. Days passed, then weeks. Madeleine's face was plastered everywhere. Newspaper front pages, posters, televised appeals. The world watched. Celebrities like David Beckham and J.K. Rowling helped spread the message. The Pope even met with the McCanns. But despite the attention, the case found itself mired in confusion. By September 2007, 4 months after the disappearance, the Portuguese police took a troubling step. They named Madeleine's own parents, Kate and Jerry McCann, as formal suspects, alleging inconsistencies in their statements and possible involvement in a staged abduction. The McCanns were shocked, outraged, but most of all, they were still parents without answers. In 2008, the Portuguese police closed the case without charges, but Madeleine was still missing. New leads, a twist years later. The story might have faded, if not for one thing. Madeleine's parents refused to stop looking. In 2011, the British government funded a new investigation by London's Metropolitan Police. They combed through over 100,000 documents and re-interviewed dozens of witnesses. Then, in 2013, a breakthrough. Detectives identified a series of burglaries in the area around the resort during the time Madeleine disappeared. A significant increase in phone activity was discovered from one particular number that night. But no arrest followed. By 2020, 13 years after Madeleine's disappearance, a major suspect emerged. Christian Bruckner, a German man with a long history of sexual crimes and violence against children. Police alleged Bruckner had been living near Praia de Luz at the time and had even confessed to a friend about knowing what happened to Madeleine. German authorities said they had concrete evidence Madeleine was dead, but no body has ever been found, and no charges have been made in court. The world is still waiting. Aftermath. What we learned. The disappearance of Madeleine McCann is not just a tragedy. It's a study in modern fear, media frenzy, and the failures of justice systems unprepared for global attention. The case raised questions about parental responsibility in foreign countries, about the ethics of press coverage and public speculation. The McCanns were villainized, idolized, scrutinized, and stalked. Their lives became a prison of never knowing. For the investigators, the case showed what happens when time slips away, when early mistakes make truth harder and harder to reach. It also revealed a psychological truth. When a child vanishes, a nation looks inward, into its nightmares, its failures, its darkest possibilities. Closure, an unsettling ending. As of today, Madeleine McCann would be 22 years old. Her bedroom at home remains unchanged. Her favorite toys still sit on the shelf. Her face, still frozen in childhood innocence, has become one of the most recognizable missing persons images in history. Some believe she's out there, living under a new name, not knowing who she was. Others believe she's gone. But the question remains, what happened to Madeleine McCann? Some truths don't fade with time. They stay with us, in the shadows, in the questions that have no answers, in the faces we can't forget, and in the hope that somehow, somewhere,